Okay, we'll go ahead and start the meeting. Welcome, everyone. And we do have a quorum this morning, Edna, Commissioner Fund, and myself. And at this time, I would like to have Edna, Commissioner Fund, please give the flag salute.
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. I move to approve the minutes of September 12th, 2016.
Second. Motion has been made and second to approve the September 12th, 2016 minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Okay, public comment. Do we have
Anyone sign up?
anyone sign up? It's your opportunity.
Here's your chance.
Chance? Okay. No public comment. Oh my gosh. Wow. Is Ron here? He is not. I say that I didn't see him, so he's not here. So anyway, he'll get 6 minutes in next week then.
Yes.
So at this time, I'm going to turn this over to Edna at this point in time. We have some special recognition, and I would like for her to give a few words.
Let's start with Anita Holt. Anita, would you like to come forward? Anita. Let's go to Kelly's Yes. A certificate of retirement to Anita Holt, E911 Communications, as a token of our sincere appreciation for outstanding service to Lewis County. Anita, do you have any comments that you'd like to make? No. Not really. Dave, would you like to make some comments?
So everyone can hear me. I do have a few comments, and Anita, I just wanted to make sure that everybody kind of knew a little bit of Anita's story here. Anita's been with Dispatch for over 31 years. Her contributions to the community and public safety cannot be easily measured, nor can they be matched. And this is a quote. When Anita started, the dispatch center had dirt floors and tin cans with strings, says Scott Mattoon. That was Scott Mattoon, by the way.
Thank you, Scott.
When I first introduced myself to Anita, she told me that she had survived 8 previous managers. I count myself as the lucky one. And Anita is known for her stellar performance, steady voice, and has been broadcast over the airways of Lewis County for over 3 decades. And this plaque reads, "In sincere appreciation for 31 years of dedicated service to the Lewis County 911 Communications Division, 1985 to 2016.
Wow, Anita. You can hold that. Can you hold 2 things?
Oh, sure.
There you go. Okay. Do it? Yes. No. Anita, here's one hand up. Shake our hands. Thank you so much for your service.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And one more chance to say anything.
Well, it may have been.
Come on, they can hear me.
It may have been 31 years at Dispatch, but Gary Zandel and I were talking one day, and I think I might have beat him in the building because it was 46 years in this building.
Whoa. Lee Combs, would you like to come forward? Lee, we appreciated what you did for Lewis County, coming in when we needed somebody to fill the gap, and you did it for us. And we are eternally grateful for what you did, and we have a nice plaque for you. has a picture that was taken of the carnival area and a certificate. Like I said, words kind of escape me when I think about the gratitude we have for you. And here's a man who, the first of the year, becomes engaged and becomes a fair manager, and a week after the fair is over, he gets married. I mean, what else are you going to do this year? And we have folks out there, Tamara or Bonnie, anybody want to say anything about Lee? No. Or Steve. Steve has some words.
Come on over here, Lee.
You know, back in January, I think it was, we were looking for an interim fair manager, and Edna had mentioned Lee Combs, and I'd heard Lee's name, but I didn't know him. And over the last 7 or 8 months, I've gotten to know Lee, and I can't tell you what a godsend it has been to have him join us at the fair and get us through this past 7 or 8 months. He did a fantastic job, and not only did I learn to appreciate him professionally, but I've also acquired a new friend, and that's the best part. Thank you, Lee.
We need a picture. Sorry, not so fast. That's fine with me.
Here, you got to hold this.
Okay. Susan wants to do one too. Thank you. Once again, Lee. Thank you.
Get up. Can you say it?
You want to say a few words?
Come on.
You never give a mic to a politician. The two things I can say about the fair. I don't know, Anita. I'm not good at math, and they're going to really notice that when they try to do a budget for next year. But I started, my first fair was 1970, and I haven't missed a day of the Southwest Washington Fair nor the Spring Youth Fair since that time. So you can do the math. I don't know how many years that is, but it's Anita, you may be one of the few people in town that has not taken a class or hasn't worked for me someplace over the. But the fair is definitely within our blood. I was honored to be asked to come back this year, but I think all of you know that you don't put on a fair with 1 or 2 people. We have a whole army of people out there. You couldn't begin to list. Excuse me.
That's okay.
You couldn't begin to list all of the people, but that fair office and the grounds crew are just tremendous. And you have 2 gems, totally. Mary's in the audience, and you never saw her. She buried in the back room with the computer, and she tells me that premiums are going to be ready to go out here pretty soon. That's an amazing, amazing thing to do, is to get all that work done. So I just greatly appreciate. And Tamara, believe me, every fair does not end and start the way yours did. It's a horrible thing to have happen, but when you go long enough, it does happen. And I just hope that the insurance companies will take care of these people the way they need to be. And I'm confident that they will. So thank you.
Got to have your picture.
How do you top that? It's really.
Well, I will say one thing on when this discussion started, when we needed someone to take the reins. I don't know whatever names, if there were other names that arose, I would like to know who they were, because I can only remember Lee Combs. So So
Yes.
anyway, thank you very much, Lee. It's a real honor and a privilege to be associated with what you've done over the years. Thank you.
And we will still see him, he and his wife, on the Centralia City Council, Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, and I owe him lunch and dinner too, so.
I do too. Okay. I move that we approve the notice agenda, number 1, notice of hearing, resolution number 16-243.
Second? Larry, good to see you this morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Larry Elzelman with Public Works. Speaking to item number 1, resolution 16-243, regarding a proposed franchise extension to Puget Sound Energy. The county entered into a 49-year franchise agreement with Washington Water Power Company, Washington Natural Gas Company, and El Paso National Gas Company back in 1965 to construct, operate, and maintain water mains with service lines from the Jackson Prairie gas storage project south to the Chehalis River. Puget Sound Energy is currently the operating agent of the Jackson gas storage project. The project is actually owned by Puget Sound Energy, A Vista Corporation, and Northwest Pipeline, but Puget Sound Energy is the operating agent and is authorized to enter into a franchise with the county on behalf of itself and the co-owners. Puget Sound Energy has applied for a new franchise to replace that 1965 franchise, and this board has granted resolutions 14-162, 15-258, and 16-5, which extended the franchise through March 31st of 2016 to allow us time to negotiate the new franchise. The extensions have now lapsed and negotiations have not been completed. So to be compliant with the RCW and county codes, the parties are currently proposing to extend the terms of the 1965 franchise through January 10th, 2017, which would give another 3 months for negotiation. RCW does require a public hearing, and this resolution would set October 10th, 2016 as the time for that hearing.
One of the things too, and again, when we were negotiating, and I think that there's a project ongoing right now that I know that the port is working on. So that was one of the thought process when we decided to extend this. So at that point in time.
It's for the Jackson Prairie
Yes.
gas storage project.
Yes.
So it's Puget Sound Energy.
Yes, for Puget Sound Energy. So.
Yes, that is correct. And speaking with someone from PSC last week, indicated that the project is currently working on it, and will come back and cross the right of way after the extension's granted. So this apparently will work out for him.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Okay. So motion has been made to approve the notice agenda, one resolution number 16-243. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
I move that we approve the consent agenda items 2 through 7, resolution number 16-244 through 249.
I second. Warrants.
Good morning, Grace Jimenez,
Good
Auditor's
morning.
Office, Financial Services. Speaking on item number 2, Resolution 16-244. This is the approval of warrants for payment for the week of September 12th through September 16th. We issued 314 regular warrants. These were numbers 754-809 to 754-925 and 754-973 through 755-169 for a total of $2,136,147.29. We also issued warrants on behalf of special purpose districts. These are approved by their commissions, and they're noted as a skip in sequence. These are warrant numbers 754-926 through 754-972. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Larry Unselman again, speaking to Resolution 16-245, which is approving an agreement between Lewis County and Tolstoy's Legacy, LLC, regarding the proposed purchase of a property located in Chehalis for a radio communications site. The lease for the current Chehalis radio site used in 911 communications has expired, and the county is now required to relocate the site. A site has been located off Northeast Cascade Avenue here in Chehalis, which will work well for the new communications site. An agreement between Lewis County and Tolstoy's Legacy, LLC, for the proposed acquisition has been signed by the property and Steve Walton, Central Services Director. It's critical to maintain good emergency radio communications, and this site will be a key part of those communications. This resolution will authorize the purchase for Lewis County and would ratify Steve Walton's signature on the agreement.
Okay. And this will give us long-term stability.
Yes, this is an ownership, so yes, you're correct.
Yes, which is very key. Thank you very much. Mr. Walton?
Morning, Commissioner. Steve Walton, Central Services Director, speaking to item number 4 on the consent agenda, resolution number 16-246, approving a renewal of lease to Lewis County from Weyerhaeuser Columbia Timberlands, LLC, for the use of a radio repeater site on Hopkins Hill and authorizing signatures thereon. We have operated a repeater site on Hopkins Hill for many years, and the property is located on property owned by Weyerhaeuser Columbia Timberlands, LLC. And this resolution would renew this lease for an additional 5 years and would allow us to keep having our tower on that site.
Okay.
Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, Danette York, Director of Public Health and Social Services, and I'm speaking to item number 5. This is resolution number 16-247, and this resolution will appoint 2 members to the Social Services Advisory Board, which brings the total members to 11. The 2 members will be J.P. Anderson. He's representing behavioral health, as he is the new drug court manager here for Lewis County, and Christi Lucas, who represents housing and homelessness. She works for Reliable Enterprises here in the county and lives in Centralia. They will both serve a 3-year term. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lee Napier, Director of Community Development, speaking on agenda item number 6, resolution 16248. Before you today is a request to accept the 2016 Ed Carlson South Lewis County Airport Master Plan update. This particular item is the master plan and the tool that is used to determine eligibility for Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, funding of capital projects at this particular airport. So we will use this as our guide for future planning. Any questions of me? And I will note that we have still three pilots in the audience that I know of. We had 4.
Can you identify those individuals, or would they like to tell us?
Well, perhaps I think they all have an interest in this airport, if you wouldn't mind taking a moment to let them address you.
Absolutely.
Do you want to start with Larry Mason, our airport manager?
Yes.
Yes. I thought you were going to use it on us, maybe. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning. This master plan is done about every 15 to 20 years. It is our hopes and dreams for the future of the Ed Carlson Memorial Field, South Lewis County Airport. I think the reason it took so long to approve, we sent it to the FAA in 2014, the summer of 2014. There's been 3 changes in the office, Renton office of the FAA. So that delayed the return and the approval by the FAA of this 20-year plan. I think it's a good 20-year plan, and I probably won't be still in the office of airport manager at that time, at the end of that plan.
What?
Really? I thought we had a long-term contract.
Oh,
But do you have any questions of me?
Thank you for all your work.
I would just like to thank you for all your work, and I have learned a whole lot about airports in the last, the last couple of years. So very much appreciated. And if you ever have the opportunities, if you're just killing the day or whatever, stop by and see Larry. He has got some amazing stories and some photos there. So we're very fortunate to have you.
Yes,
so
we are.
thank you very much and all the work that you do for the airport and Lewis County.
Thank you, Commissioners.
And the country, what you've done.
My stories get better each time I tell them, by the
Well,
way.
that's all right. They're darn good. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Yes, yes.
John, do you have any comments? Would you like to make a comment or two?
Yeah, come on, John.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is John Rowe, and my aviation connection for Lewis County here is that I'm a public relations officer and the historian for the Toledo Flying Club. And I'd like to take a moment to thank Larry Mason for doing an absolutely great job, and I'd also like to thank Lee Napier for standing behind Larry on the issues that involve the airport. I think the more information we have about the airport on all sides here is going to benefit us greatly as we go forward. We've got issues at the airport that I believe are being addressed at this time. This airport was built, I'm speaking at Toledo, this airport was built in 1943 by the Army Corps of Engineers. And in the last 72, 73 years that the airport's been there, certain infrastructure parts of the airport have began to decay, and the county is now aware of those issues. With Larry Mason steering the process, I think we'll be able to address those and keep this airport around for at least another 70 or 75 years. Good. And I want to thank the commissioners for their interest in it. I want to thank Lee, and I want to thank Larry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
So I guess let me just wrap up. Any questions of me? The third pilot is being quiet.
Okay.
Any other questions of me?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Lee.
Good morning again, Commissioner. Steve Walton, Central Services Director, speaking to item number 7 on the consent agenda, resolution number 16-249, approving an agreement between the Washington State Military Department and Lewis County for the 2015 Homeland Security Program funding. The Lewis County Central Services Department Radio Services Division has received a contract with the Washington State Military Department for funding under the federal fiscal year 2015 State Homeland Security Program for Homeland Security projects. Funds are available and approved for use by our Radio Services Division in the amount up to $13,652. It's contract number E17-056 with the state. For the contract period of September 1, 2015 through March 31st, 2017. And these projects will enhance countywide interoperable communication, including the law enforcement agencies. Typical fashion, we don't get these until well into the grant period. It started back in September of 2015. But we'll put the money to good use. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Motion has been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Seeing no further items on our agenda, I move that we adjourn.
Second. Motion is made to adjourn. All in favors? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all four corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. Fish our many rivers and lakes in the south, and discover where history and culture intersect in our twin cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all come alive when you discover Lewis County.